family, welcome to another episode of Shine a Light on It. Today we're spending time with Latascha doing something she really enjoys, which is dancing. Now, we're from Chicago, so it's stepping and it's line dancing. I can step, but she loves line dancing more. So we about to come in here, do some line dances, and y'all gotta be kind to me, okay? Because I got like 2 left feet. They gonna try to work together and we're gonna have a good time. Let's hear more about her story, yeah? Let's go. Hey, I'm Hannah.
How you doing?
Good.
Hi, I'm Tasha.
Nice to meet you, Tasha. So today we're gonna be doing some line dancing. I'm gonna teach you guys some basic steps first, so you can get comfortable, and then we're gonna learn 2 line dances. So we're gonna do boots on the ground, and then we're gonna do a wild card. Y'all with that?
Yeah, I got 2 left feet.
Think about it.
Okay, I got 2 left feet. I just want to say that out loud for the people.
That's okay, because I'm gonna get you through the 2 left feet. That's why we're doing the warm-ups first.
Okay,
So
we got warm-ups too?
Yes.
I just want to let you know if she throw me off or something, she gonna have to sit down.
She got to sit down. Just don't pay her no attention. We'll get it together. We'll get it together.
I ain't throwing my funk sway out.
Your funk sway.
That's right.
Spread out, make you some space. There we go. All right, so we're gonna practice doing doubles and singles. Okay, so we're gonna start with singles. So you're gonna step with your right foot. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these are doubles. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go 1, 2. We're gonna double on the right foot. 3, 4. We're gonna step with our left. 5, 6, and we're gonna double on our left. 7, 8. Let's try it again. 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, double, 3, 4, 5, 6, double, 7, 8. Okay! Pow, 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 pow. 2, 3, 4, step, 5, 6, and 8. All right. Period. No, we ain't. Come on. You got this. Go step, tap, 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 step, up, tap, tap. Period. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you flick your hand. Okay.
My hip. The very short version.
Tap, tap, turn. Take the leg, tap, tap, turn. There you go. Just kick the leg. Whoop. You just kick it. Just boom. Just kick a boot. And you can bow how you want it. Roll, roll, roll. 3 rolls. Right? That turn is just a temptation turn. Just pivot.
I ain't no temptation.
I'm gonna actually put it in slow motion.
All right, that sounds like a great idea. Slow motion.
I can put it in slow motion. No problem.
Girl, you back out on my nerves, Anna DeShawn.
I love that. Let's make sure we put that in the video. No, okay with line dance. This is one of the things you said you like to do.
I really do. I mean, I have fun. I can't wait like it's on my mind. It's all hot and heavy now, so I like to go home and practice by myself until I become a professional.
A professional line
Then
dancer.
I can come back and show her that she'll know who she's talking to, because but it takes time. It's okay.
It takes time to practice. Yeah.
But yeah, line dance is a good way of exercise, and back when I was that age, and what I'm saying, I had this problem, but I'm in love. I'm tired, I'm hot and bothered, messed up my shower, but it's a good form of exercise, and alleviate stress. So
Yeah, you always like dancing? Always.
yeah, I was used to be in a girl, I've been some of everything. I can't tell you all my stories, but I was in a marching band. In one of my middle schools, it was the Black African dance, modern dance.
You used to do that too?
Yeah, so then I was a house head immediately as soon as from high school. So if I had to start having them damn if I had to hit that one baby I love, you know what I'm saying? You kind of put yourself on the back burner, motherhood type thing, but I used to stay going in them house music parties and jumping up all night long. Slim, I was tight and bright.
That makes sense. It's Chicago. It's house music all day.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to do this though.
Yeah.
Because I want to do something that you enjoy.
Yeah, I do love line dancing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think one thing that gets
Still got my
lost
head
in all
on
the
it.
stories is that y'all are human.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
that is just one part of who you are.
No, everybody did a good job. It was a little workout. I thought I was ready.
Yeah.
So you tell you practice make perfect, and like I even asked our great instructor, about her classes and where the location might be. because that is something I would like to, do and keep steps with the exercise, stress, and then, it's time for to get here. I'm already thick, I might as well tighten these lumps up, boo-boo kitty. So I'm glad I came. I'm a little sweaty and I'm a little sweaty.
I'm glad you did too, and I know it is, like you told us about, Sisters of the Struggle. Like, I remember that from the first time we talked, and that being such an important part, because we know you traveled, like you went from this state to this state, you landed here, found support, and the sisters are a real big part of that.
Yes, they are. Yes. And I am going through, let's say we just lost another one. Actually, we lost 3 last year, 2025. So she made it to New Year's Eve. So it was still 2025. They found her New Year's Day. And so they kind of like dapping, kind of a New Year type of thing. It's like it's a close knit because you could, we rely on each other, talk to each other about, things that you can't do with just an average friend, man, children, anything. So, anytime one of the ladies pass away from whatever it may be, long-term survivors, like I said, we have other core mobilities, it does hit hard. So kind of thinking about that, going and, just it affects you, because these women that I have lost last year, they were like pillars to me, pillars in the Sister of Struggle. I made this name up, anybody want to know, the Sister of Struggle, but it helps me, that's how I relate, that's how it, sits well in my mind. So as you grow and learn these women, and it's like, I've been knowing them all, I came back in 2015, so it's 26, so it's 11 years, when I first started. So you keep up with each other and check on each other, and, these are sisters that, they gave me the man above, of course, but the motivation, and it's helped me with the stop the crying, and like, oh girl, you just, you moved now to where I'm at now, so yeah.
Yeah, because when you first got here, you were still trying to find the right resources and all the things, and you found this community, which I think is really a big part of our conversation. It's just how important community is.
Yes, it is.
When you have the diagnosis and you're just trying to figure out life and find other people who have survived and are thriving and are happy and find joy in things. Because I remember you telling me, like, you cried a lot in the beginning, and it was really hard to find joy and happiness in it,
Right, and then it took me a time to because, every individual human, we all go through life traumas or whatever, but at one point in my life, I had, was so down in a dark spot, I forgot my dreams, my wants, and who I was. So these past 10, 11 years has been working on me to help rebuild myself back. And I'm like, I forgot I love to dance. I forgot, I'm thinking about going back to school. It's so like, I'm feeling alive versus I felt like I was a walking dead from diagnosis to maybe the first 6 or however many years it was. So, life does go on,
It does, and I'm glad you're still here going on.
Girl, it'd be rough.
I know it do, but you here and you doing it though. And
I'm trying.
You're a possibility model for somebody else.
I'm trying, but I be like, hey, gotta clean that closet. Make some changes. But because I couldn't have been here and I could have gave up, and that's the thing. And then also dealing with mental health, I believe, you have. So when you get this diagnosis, it's something else that you might have that may run in your family too. So I have dealt with mental health issues, before, so I just can't blame it directly on this diagnosis, but it also kind of did escalate on top of from childhood traumas, that type of thing. Right. So, and we as a black community, we don't believe in going to see a therapist or a doctor, or, something like that. They say, sit your little stuff down, crazy stuff, whatever, when you're growing up. Right. And there's really something going on with this kid. So,
we dismiss a lot.
Yeah, we dismiss a lot.
I think also because sometimes we don't even have the language for it.
Yeah.
We just be like, just go sit down somewhere, but...
Or self-medicate or do some reckless things that you shouldn't do because you have no avenue, you don't know how to talk. You can't talk to your grandma, you can't talk to your mama because a lot of our, elders or whatever, they still, back in those days or whatever, they,
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah,
but you here, you made it.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
making it.
Yes, ma'am.
And we had a good time today.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I almost got mad at the little instructor. I apologize. Those are my thoughts. I was say, all that twisting and popping.
But we're going to go back in the studio and talk some more, not only about your story and so folks can learn more about you, but this was a good time today.
All right, glad that.
Tasha, thank you for taking time to tell your story. I know it's a lot. And I really enjoyed our pre-interview.
We laughed a lot. I feel like we're gonna laugh a lot during our time today. But I want to start with something I thought was really unique when we talked, which was the fact that you experienced healthcare in 3 different states. And I don't know how many people can actually say that. So you went from Florida to Wisconsin to Illinois. Can you just tell me more about that journey from going from that state to that state to that state and how different the healthcare that you received was?
Okay. Well, when I became infected, I'll say, in Florida, they was like, okay, let me see how to say this. Oh yeah, you got this, but your T cells is at a certain number. You don't need no medicine. So what we gonna do? They put me in housing right away. They had no support groups, no medication or nothing for that. So you was they're dealing with this whole bombshell that was dropped in your laps. And then at the same time, the guy I was married to, when we went to another testing thing, he knew that he had this condition. I'm still working with it, but you can put the right words in. And they had been looking for him for about, I don't know, some years. And so because when I first, how it all started, let me backtrack a little bit. I just couldn't eat that whole week and I got sick. And at the same time, I found out I was a diabetic. So I ended up having to go to the hospital and they had to give me insulin around the clock. My levels was up so high. So I'm still ain't thinking nothing. And by this time, I'm married to the guy, maybe about 2 going on 3 years. Long story short, so you go back to follow up, and that's how I found out back then. They had this little girl running around, get your HIV test. It only take 20 minutes, blah blah blah. So I'm going for a follow up for my diabetes, seeing if I'm getting my sugar together. And then back then they didn't say the actual word, but it was an indicator. I forgot because it's kind of trauma, kind of in the back of my thing. But whatever she told me was enough to let me know, something ain't right. So then at this point back then, you had to, what did I have to do? Just to take some blood or something or whatever. Then you had to wait a 2-week period. So that was the worst of times, just like I said. But then at the same time, I was married, and then I had just not too long had a child, and I made sure I had got all those tests, and I really went whatever. So I said, oh no, because I didn't want to believe what she was saying. So they had the different screening sites that you could go to right away. So I picked one when he got off work because he was trying to make excuses and all this and that. Like, what are you talking about, this and that? And I'm like, back then I probably down there much, much better. Or I'm gonna bring it on, wrap it up when it gets to the different states. But no support, no nothing to talk to, or nothing. And then every person, I think, especially in our Black community, like, oh, I know about this, or oh, you this and that. But really, we are the farthest away as far as being educated. And they just, the stigma is still 1,001%, and they really, really don't know. So like I said, and so we went to the other site. And I was like, we married, they didn't want to tell me, but then they finally had let me know. It was like, we've been looking for him. He came in here, he had tested positive years and years ago. He never came back to follow up. He didn't take no meds or nothing like that. So, then of course when you get with somebody, you ask them, but I didn't follow through with, let's go take a test or let me see whatever. And so we used condoms in the beginning, but once we got married, you know how they go. So neither here nor there. So like I said, they was quick. They gave me a beautiful luxury apartment, century, blah, 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 and then some this and that. No support group, no medicine, no nothing. So all I was, just sitting there crying, and I'm saying I'm finna die and stuff. And that's how my dog Jasper came into play. Because my oldest daughter was in the military, but she had just came home from Afghanistan. And she was like, Mom, what's going on? Woo, woo, woo. So, and I was just such a wreck and stuff, and nobody could console me. And then I was sitting there like, thinking of ways how I'm a kill this man. I'm from Chicago, but I got my daughter was 5, my youngest daughter. I got to escape the state, go on the run, whatever. And, all this was running through my mind because you knew what you did and this and that. Then he said, long story short. So my daughter ended up buying me my dog named Jasper. And I wasn't even an animal lover. And he really, really, really helped me because she had to leave to go on to the next post after a week or something because she had to leave before the results actually even even came back that it was official with the stamp, right? And so the little dog would be walking around and this and that. And my youngest daughter, I'd walk her to pre-K or whatever. Then I sit and cry, and then I'm still with this man. He'll be at work and no answers, no solutions, and this and that. So the dog ended up, he just was sensing. And he was so tiny, so he would work his way by me. And I'm just being mean and this and that. And next thing you know, he would turn his little body to teach me how to pick him up. So I pick him up and he'll sit on my lap. And he wasn't too, and I just be sitting there just rubbing her and rubbing like for hours, and I feel myself coming down. So that was my emotional support dog. So when I called my mama, long story short, back then she was staying in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. She's like, oh my God, you gotta get out of that state, come up here with the family here. We gonna get help. So of course she ran her mouth, whatever, so that was another thing.
So in Florida,
with the healthcare.
You got your diagnosis in Florida, and they put you in a apartment, and they had those type of services, but they didn't have no support groups, didn't give you no information,
Nothing. And then they told me that, yeah, you got it, but you so healthy and your T cells up so high, you don't need to be put on medicine. So how you gonna give me in my mind, that was a death sentence, come on with the whole. And so I didn't stay much longer, because I had been living down in Florida for maybe about 5, 6, 7 years. My oldest daughter had graduated from high school and went up to the military, blah, blah, blah. So I might have stayed when I got the diagnosis, if it was a year, because I had worked. So when the taxes came, that's when I went on and moved to Wisconsin.
Because your family, your mom was like, come up here, we'll give you support.
Blah, blah, blah. But still ain't on no meds, still no answers or... Yeah, they put me into care right away. They said, oh, now things has changed. No matter what your levels is, you're going to go on meds. But they only had one building, which was downtown in Milwaukee. And I'm like, come on now. I'm still, I'm trying to keep my cover and still ain't dealing with this and that. And this, like, had you think everybody know what this building is. They would have the food pantry there. They had the therapy, the psychiatrist there, your dentist there. And, they call it a specialty doctor there as well. So it was kind of convenient if a person wanted to go to one, but they just had the one. They didn't have no options. And so that kind of played into it. And they did help with housing, but it was temporary. So...
and you weren't in a position where you were ready to disclose. So it just felt like...
I'm still, it's hard not to even accept it. And, I'm still... Either, hey, I'm finna die, I didn't get my revenge from the man, and, I feel like I'm damaged goods, and, all kind of stuff, to the point that while I was in Wisconsin, I decided, because I was so afraid, and didn't know, I'm like, because my daughter was about 6 or 7, and then I was like, y'all need to give her a test, because I was afraid to cook, then my mama was like, you better make sure you have bleach, use glasses. My brother was like, oh, you need to find you somebody just like you. Fuck you mean just like me? Fine, sexy, thicker than what you mean?
So you moved from Florida to Wisconsin. Your family, your mom says, we come here, we're gonna give you support. Did you find support there?
Bullshit. I stayed more drunk or whatever. She told me, use bleach. And then even like it was a point, I was like, oh, this, like, guys were trying to speak or whatever. And I was like, I think I like him or whatever. He keep messing with me. You better tell him. I just said I fucking like him. So, my family, the support that they gave me was, long as I was in my little house, and take care of my daughter and doing the little cookouts, this and that, and being by myself, they was cool. So, but let it be a gathering or somebody was trying to like me, or I might, you know what I'm saying? I'm a woman, I got needs too. Whisper behind, she don't leave her alone, blah, blah, blah type of thing. And I had to even check them a couple of times. I was like, that ain't for you to tell, that's my business. And then it's a law too, of people disclosing your status without your permission, especially in a setting like that, because people get harmed or hurt like that and that type of thing. I would never do that and blah, blah, blah. So I even, they got to the point where I attempted suicide, because when they gave me the first medication, I forget the name of it, and the body got to adjust to it, and however the case may be, and I just couldn't get no kind of, I don't know what the word is, because it ain't closure or some kind of it's gonna be okay type of thing,
support you need,
right? So in front of my two daughters, my daughter had just came home from the military. I'm so embarrassed about it right today, this and that. But I was just like, and then like I said, I had begged the doctors, forced the doctors to test my youngest daughter. They was like, I didn't know that once it's airborne, it's dead. I didn't give a hoot. Then I'm thinking, and I even volunteered, you know what I'm saying? And at my ripeness, that I volunteered to get a partial hysterectomy because I didn't want no blood coming out of me, period. I was hoping I could get a transfusion or something. I just, because I'm unlearned. Then I would just, crying different. I was like, I'd rather have the diagnosis of cancer than this, because either way it go, that you could be walking healthy, this and that. God forbid, or whenever my time comes, what your black people gonna say? Oh, what she died from? She had, you know what I'm saying? And do you not know that you got other comorbidities? Okay, overweight, diabetes came in, high blood pressure, some other stuff on top of that. So then from there, let me see. So I was like, okay, Chicago is where I'm born and raised. I had been gone for some time, raised my daughters this and that. I ended up back in Chicago. My one auntie was like, well, come on up here and, you can stay with me for a while and, get into service and care and blah, blah, blah. Because I was like, we needed to get away from my mom and my brother with they closed, narrow-minded, and I couldn't find I still couldn't find what I needed or something. So in Chicago, whatever zip code you call, whatever zip code that you're in, it's called AFC, AIDS Foundation of Chicago. So whatever zip code that you in at that time, they'll look up the nearest doctor and care to that zip code. So then I was like, wow, so they got it all over. If I had been living on the north side, I could have been in the north, whatever, so I happened to be on the south side. And then they had so many support women groups when I first got back here in 2015. I was going somewhere every day and dealing with, then I was like, and it was women groups, catered to women. They had the bisexual group, the this group, that sometimes mingled in, but it was mainly like one of the groups was CWAP, Chicago Women's AP, something like that. That was really great. We would meet up. We had a food cooking. You can bring your kids. We did the breast cancer trip, and then then they had them all over. So. And I still was in my crying stage. I wasn't trying to kill myself, but every time I was like, as soon as my turn comes, this and that. So it's this one lady, they had this little class called SAS, and I ended up graduating. We had to write a little thing or something. And this one lady, she said, look, let me tell you something. It ain't about why and who at this point. Just know that you live and take your meds. It's whatever she did. And from that day, I had stopped crying, but I still was like, okay. And then so I felt like as long as I stayed traveling with these group of women, they'll call me, oh, they doing something over here at 2 o'clock, I break my neck. Or they doing something over here at whatever day, no matter what.
But when you got to Chicago, you found community. I believe you called them your sisters of support.
Sisters of struggles. Sisters of struggle,
Yeah.
And so then, you started learning, and then as I was going to say, then I was meeting women that was long-time survivors, 20 years, 30 years. And by this time, I'm still relatively new, 3 or 4 years. And, was looking good doing got men's and all that, this and that. I said, stop lying. You ain't told that man you got this shit y'all together. Just some say they did, some say they didn't, and some say they got it from the one that stayed with them.
And Tasha, one thing I thought was just so interesting is that you do have the experience with the different healthcare systems, but also just how community helped you in this moment. Your family still didn't understand. Like so many of our Black families don't understand HIV. And so much misinformation, so much stigma, right?
Yes.
You get to Chicago, you find a support system and these women who are living life and living lives that you're like, I want this type of life too. This is something that I want to have,
Well, back it up. I ain't say I wanted this type of life, but I wanted to throw this part in too. So at the same time as I'm finding this way, then it was a lady that lived next door to me, and she just felt the need to reach out to me. And now at this point, I was getting into education, and I even started preaching a little bit to my nieces and nephews. The girl, she had showed me her papers, and and around close to my age, and I ain't gonna say that. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God. I said, well, are you into care? Are you taking meds? And so she was still with the man that gave her. And she said, no. And then I was like, getting the courage up, and I was like, well, I know some people I can dial a number, you know what I'm saying, they'll help you with housing, everything, you need to get into care, And so I was getting ready to get into my testimony, but something held me, and I don't know why right today, or maybe it was protecting myself because I lived in the neighborhood of Inglewood, and like I said, my daughter's in 6th, 7th grade. She got to go to school, walk the neighborhood. Do you know the very next day when I say it was a lady down the street and it was the teenagers that go to the same school, my daughter, that was her friend, they came and came in front of that lady house, opened the gate and went and dragged out there and beat her to a pulp and said, bitch, that's why you running around here spreading AIDS all through the neighborhood, this and that, that and this. And I was like, y'all need to stop this and that. And I was like, oh my God. And then I ain't see her no more after that, but it's sad because, you have to keep this. That's why I said the Sisters of Struggle, secret society, because just the way how our people run with the information. I even heard somebody say when the COVID came out, he said he'd rather fuck a bitch with COVID than a bitch with HIV. You don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Just that kind of thing. And then to see that just kind of made me almost revert back a little more than the progress I had because of actually hands on hands witnessing somebody getting beat because of her status. And she had, thought she was confident with this lady to even talk to her like that. But soon as somebody get mad at you, like my aunt, the one that had me to move up here, soon as she got mad at me, she said, at least I ain't dying of AIDS, bitch. I said, I'm HIV positive. I said, at least I ain't fucking a married man. And we had to do like that, and then we end up not talking to her. 6 months later, she died from cancer, and I ain't found out. You know what I'm saying? That was time wasted, and we was like this, traveling and everything, but that's how people do you when you in this status. Unfortunately, when they get mad, call me fat, call me this, call me that, but the subject there is sensitive as it is, you know what I'm saying, and not even educated, because just because you HIV positive don't mean you have AIDS. And even if you do have AIDS, if you get on your meds and stuff and get to being undetected, you know what I'm saying, you can live, but you know what I'm saying, but my status is HIV positive either way, so
right.
That's that on that.
And what do you think Black women need to know?
Black women need to know, keep that monkey locked up. Not zip that hot pocket up. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know it feel good in the raw, but fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Because eating a lot of older women, even my mama's, you know what I'm saying? She's like, she's in the same bed, I like him. I said, well, did you use the condom? Nah, why should I? I said, you know what I'm going through. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So Black women, sex is a wonderful thing. Yes, it is. Black girls, Black women, this and that, just a time and a place. And people, I don't care if you drink a buzz, this and that, one night stand. If you can't ask them make sure you use a condom or something. And if you want to, continue, you know what I'm saying, don't be afraid to ask what they say or go to a thing and y'all get tested together. And even if you in a relationship, because niggas cheat, women cheat, however, this and that, it's always, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say. So most of my years, I stay abstinent, like a recluse. And, I thought my Sally had got broken and she wasn't no good no more. Now she popping off left. No, just kidding.
You're so silly.
I'm just saying, what I'm saying?
But what I think is beautiful is that you still find humor.
I ain't got no choice. It's either that or cry. I ain't fighting no crying today. I'm too beautiful today. Let me get my pep head on. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't crying. It's either that or that. That's, I don't know, that's probably a way of, let me see how I do it. To handle my nervousness or whatever I'm feeling, my emotions. So, I just pop off with a joke or, listen to the voices in my head. I don't fucking know. I watch a lot of reality TV. You know how we do it. We grew up playing the dozens. It is what it is. So,
yeah.
But
I think there's so many people who can't find the humor, who don't know where to laugh.
Now, let me tell you, in the beginning, that road and that battle, ain't nothing funny. Ain't a goddamn thing funny. When people didn't want to see me no more. They didn't they're like, hey, Tasha, I'm all right. Just crying everywhere I go for no fucking reason. I cry so much, I don't even know if I got any more tears, but my eye probably run. I done cried all my eye ducts. But I had to grow in the time, and it wasn't nothing nobody could tell me, whatever. Then seeing witnesses, and then meeting with the different pharmaceutical companies and the this and into that, you know, and it just, you know, seeing these different, but I done lost a couple of people as well throughout this journey. But they said back then they used to have to take 16 and some pills a day and blah, blah, blah. A lot of them didn't make it this and that, but it's still a lot of them. And I lean on them still right today when I got a question, when I can't talk to my mama, cousin, nobody about it, because you got to talk to somebody that's in your shoes. And them sisters break it down. When they say they break it down, they break it down. And then also, this thing is really serious to me because I lost 2 first cousins. I'm the third one that's no telling who else more, because people, sometimes a lot of people, they might even get the diagnosis and they choose to hide it and just go on this and that. I even seen on some Facebooks where like people was saying, I'm gonna get everybody and take people out that's been movies. But my one cousin, she was, that was back in the, 80, whatever it is. That's when it first came out, when after Lil Ryan. And she just didn't go to health. And, then, it was in denial or whatever. She, passed away. She was very young. Then my other cousin was a boy cousin, which he didn't die from this, but him being in denial about what he, you know what I'm saying? And then even several times on his mama's side, they was like, he get a girlfriend. Did you tell her? Did you tell her? Be embarrass him and put him on the spot and, make him feel bad and all that kind of thing. So he refused to get help. Only time he would get help is when he went to jail, which he always went in and out of jail a lot. So, and as I was, learning stuff, I would try to say, well, come on, cuz, you get enough, you don't have to worry about trying to sleep on your sister's couch or get put out by a girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Just take your meds, And once I learned what it was about and the importance of taking your meds, they can see me walking down the street drunk, crisscross, whatever, but bitch that popped up here either in the morning, afternoon, or what, baby, huh?
Yeah, and that's such an important part of this, is that
well, not
staying,
a young lady.
young lady, but taking your meds, right?
Yeah.
Like you're at a point now, you've been through the whole gamut. You've seen the gamut. You've experienced all of the negative stigma, all of the hate. Not just from family, but from community. And you're on the other side of that in so many ways. What would you tell somebody maybe who's just newly diagnosed?
I would give her my number. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to cry with her because I can remember those stages. And then from there, I'm going to show her, lead her the way. If I got to go with her, I go to the doctor. It's going to be okay. I'm going to keep reassuring her. I will answer the phone call late at night. Most of the time, I'm up, whatever I'm doing in there. Excuse me, I was just saying if you need to talk and let her know it's going to be okay, because I'm letting her know because I've been there. How can you help somebody you can't relate or no empathy or you never been through? And since I've been through that as a single mama with a kid, so I would do whatever it is within my power or means or whatever, as far as resources, holding your hand, or come over my house. I don't care, because look, sister, this is what it is, but this is what we're going to make it through. And if I got to draw a diagram and a map, I was just like this and even worse. And, this is where I'm at. And look at me, boo-boo kitty. Let's do. So I would definitely, I don't care, especially single women with children, and even to the young people, I would like to let them know, it's a good thing, like, oh, well, I'm just doing oral sex. This, there's a lot of things you can get worse than a baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this ain't something you want, sweetheart, because guess what? They ain't got no cure yet. Then somebody go to my, oh, Dr. Tuffy got a cure, blah, 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 this and that. And I say, well, when it come out, then once I just do natural herbs and this. Now I done did all that, and I still do. I take prenatal pills. I ain't finna pop shit, nothing, but I try to, whatever I'm missing, to blend in, because they give my daughter a lot of them. Anyway, but, so I take my little vitamins, I done did, whatever, and I try to eat right or whatever, and I just do me. And, I'm at the point, I'm an empty nester. I hate when my kids come back. Oh, Lord, I hope they don't see this. I'm like, how long you gonna be?
But you take care of people. I think, one thing I know about you is that you're gonna laugh, you're gonna take care of people, right? Community and care, I feel like, are the things that really get you through, and laughing a lot.
Yeah, and then a lot of times I like to pour myself into somebody else's trouble and whatever, and then I kind of, but I don't neglect taking my medicine, but something kind of helped me get through They kept that in the back burner. Like, I don't barely like to use the word. I still sometimes hide the papers. But if it's whatever, I can sit down and talk and educate you, show you this and that, and I ain't gonna tell you something that I haven't did or tried to test it. And I know some numbers are the mess of people's network, and, that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay. Thank you, Tasha.
All right.
Thank
Where
you.
my motherfucking money at? Hi, I'm Tasha. I love house music. I'm a house head for life since 1988. I believe black women are queens, beautiful, powerful, all that, and a bag of chips. I'm living with HIV, and HIV don't have me. So I'm here to shine a light on it. It is what it is. Do what and what.